What up, though, YouTube? Welcome to the D.S.A Roundtable, where we have a full house. Yes, a full house. There is 6 of us today. I know what you're thinking. Uh-oh, this must be some epic stuff, and it is, because it's going down. There's a lot to cover, and because there's a lot to cover, we're gonna make sure we get this thing going right away. First person up right here is the newest member to come on to the D.S.A, the Big Take. Talk to the people, man. What up, though?
What up, Luke G? What's going on? What's up, everybody in the chat? Thank you guys for coming out tonight.
Hey,
I'm ready to have some fun with all of you guys.
Support that. And then we have the one of the youngest but the best to do it, Mr. CA3 Sports Talk. Carl, what up, though?
What up, though?
Man,
happy to be on the round table, man.
Man, that's what's up. And then we have ourselves here, Mr. Detroit Drew. Drew, you said you had jokes early, man. What up, though?
I'll save them for the topic. It'll make more sense as the show goes on.
Hey, I appreciate it, man. Talk to the people, man.
You know how I do it.
Hey. And then we have Mr. Maestro himself, Mr. MicroMike. What up, though?
What up, though?
Man, oh man. Now we go down to the heart of the city, Mr. 313 J-Mo himself. What up, though?
What's good with y'all? What's good with everybody, man? How y'all doing out there?
Man, that's what's up. And I am Luke G from Luke G's Fair Review, man. Welcome to the show. Appreciate y'all for rocking with us. Let's make sure we get those likes up. And as they roll in, like it and keep it going. We got a lot to cover, people, because the disrespect for our Detroit Lions is real today. And I'm frustrated. so
I'm about to do roll call. I'm about to do roll call, man. Adam Bogart, what's up? D. Williams, what up, though? Ted Chaney, George Morgan, Marcel Edwards, what up, though? Below Zero, what's good? Make sure you guys like the video. Data Boy, what's up, man? What's up, first black man on the net? 12 Man Pride, what up, though? James Holyfield, what up, though? Marcel Edwards, what's up, man?
Is that everybody? Did we get Webb? What up, though, Webb? All right. Did we get everybody in the building?
What up, though, Tony?
Claire,
Voice?
what's
What
good?
up, though?
One Pride, what's good?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
What up, Richard? What up, Richard Head?
We got all kind of stuff about to happen today, boy. Woo. I mean, we got to talk about it. We got a full house, people. Let's just get right to this thing, man. ESPN does 20,000 simulations, and they handpick one simulation that has the Detroit Lions starting off 0-10 and firing Matt Patricia. What are your thoughts on that, Detroit, Drew?
I mean, there's a ton of ways I could go with this, and I think I wrote some down, but I forgot them, so hopefully I don't ruin it and ruin the joke. ESPN stands for Extremely Stupid Prediction Network. That is terrible. That is god-awful. It's probably one of the worst things I have heard about the Lions this offseason, and I've heard some terrible things this offseason, I'll tell you that.
Man, tell me this. Like, was it just me, or did it not seem like the very moment you saw that 36-10 to the Cardinals, your blood pressure just shot up? Was it just me? I mean, J-Mo, what is your thoughts about this 0-10 start, man?
Man, it's just like, I don't respect ESPN anymore. I never respected them, but I never disrespected them. Now it's a lot of disrespect because I can't understand how we could start 0-10. It's literally impossible. That's just the way I feel about it. And that's all I got. I can't even tell. Like, I mean, 0-10.
It's crazy. The
Lions have never went 0-10 in Matthew Stafford's career, bro. Like, and that makes no sense.
I mean, listen, it's not only does it not make no sense, it doesn't even line up for the casual fan. Like, how do they? That's the one you hand plucked. That's the one you hand. Carl, I know you saw it and was saying to yourself, like, this can't be life. in your best Jay-Z voice with Scarface, this can't be life. Like, come on, man.
Man, I was speechless, man. Even like, I don't know. I was just speechless, man. I just don't understand, man.
I've never been so mad at an article probably in my life, bro. It's been a while since I've been that mad at an article.
it's like I just say to myself, like do you even take 1 minute of your life just to look at the roster we have?
He said just 1 minute, a full 60 seconds to actually see if what you say line up with the rest of it. It's crazy how it works. I have an interesting take on what's going on with this, but let's talk about a big take. I mean, you saw this article, and I even did a video about it. D.S.A, shout out to D.S.A. He did a video about it. Everybody seems to be confused by this stupidity, and then they dropped this out right after I just called out NBC Sports for basically trying to use us as an example for poor drafting. Like, big take, talk to me, man. What was your thoughts when you heard this ridiculous article, this BS that they produced?
I'm gonna take one out of Stephen A. Smith's book here and go ahead and say this is just straight up blasphemous, man. Like, how in the world do they think we're gonna start out 0-11? I mean, especially when our first game is against the Arizona Cardinals. The Arizona Cardinals are garbage. Like, dude, there's no way we're gonna lose to the Cardinals, especially not 36-10. And if we do, I promise you, I will not watch another game this season.
Man, I'm telling every Lions fan right now, if we lose 36-10 to Arizona, don't watch the season. Go watch some Michigan football. Wait for the Pistons. Go watch some Red Wings. Because you don't want to watch the rest of the season.
I might have to get my tattoo covered up if that's the case, and I don't want that.
Like, you don't want to watch the rest of the season. So there's no way that's happening.
And it's funny because look, I know it was some trash when Mike hits me up and he goes, see, this is what I'm talking about right here. I mean, when you give me that small insert, I know it's some decent stuff. Mike, what was your thoughts when you saw this simulator, this one pick out of 20,000 that they chose to write about? What was your thought process at this idea that we're going 0-10 and we're losing to the Cardinals week 1, 36-10?
Folks, I want to get really serious here about a very serious situation. This article is a prime example to do not do drugs. Literally. This article is so garbage, just like everybody there in ESPN and their moronic 0-10. My God, this is so ridiculous, and we're going to get beat 36-10.
Right.
Talk about the worst prediction of all time. He's the anti-Nostradamus. He is the ESPN, the NFL of Baghdad Bob.
You say his IQ got to be real low. I mean, it's. I tell you what, I'm starting to realize what's going on with the way the media portrays the Detroit Lions, and I'm starting to understand why they're doing it. And I have an interesting theory. It's funny to me that the over and under, I believe, was 6.5, and I know if Andrew's still in here with us, man. Shout out to Andrew's football. This guy talks betting, fantasy, and he talks sports. But I think we're 6.5. I think a lot of the media pushes the agenda of Vegas. I mean, let's think about this. If everything that people see, the casual fan see, says the Lions are going to suck, and they're betting people, wouldn't you bet the under? Because all the experts, the so-called experts, are saying that this is what you're going to get because this team is terrible. So take the under and bet. I think this is a Vegas setup. That's my opinion. What's your thoughts about that, Drew?
I like the conspiracy theory. I really do. But I think that does play a factor in it because you watch shows like Colin Cowherd, and a lot of what he bases everything off from is the Vegas odds. You watch it for not only the NFL, he does that for like division, like he'll do the over under on the wins and stuff. All that's Vegas based. He does it for the NBA. Vegas in the last 10 years has really taken over everyone's viewpoint on the sports network, just out there,
right?
Not just the NFL,
right? And it seems like if I'm going to get this money racked up, it's best for me to push this agenda that they're going to be trash because I don't see how. I don't see how they're going to come up with this. And it's just like, what in the world did they get this from? Now, let me ask you this though, Carl. Tell me, I mean, if this ain't the reason, could you come up with any other reason why the media would be so harsh against the Detroit Lions? Like, what reason you could think? My theory is gambling.
I mean, people probably use our past, to put it against us. But I mean, it's the present, man. The past is over with. gotta look at the present, and these articles is why we're here talking to you guys today, man. So
right now, J-Mo,
right, exactly.
I know you gotta buy it. It's gotta be Vegas, right? Tell me if it's not Vegas. Tell me it's God or something. Give me something I can hold on to explain this level of stupid.
Well, what Richard was saying is exactly what I said earlier. But no, I don't think Vegas. I mean, Vegas doesn't have any sway on anything. It's Vegas. They're wrong all the time. It's just simply, to me, I think it's more of a Matt Patricia Patriots disciple type thing, and then he's on the Lions on top of that. So they're like, oh yeah, of course they're gonna be. They're just bound to be. That's probably what they're thinking about. And they're just ignoring all the things that we're doing. I mean, they think we wasted money for paying players like Trey Flowers and all of this other stuff. They don't. It's like they don't like our roster. I don't know why. It's like any other team could have our roster, including the Browns, and they would say, "Oh yeah, they're gonna be a good team." But it's the Lions, so they just they're gonna suck. That's basically what they're saying.
Give Green Bay this roster, and they'd be saying that Green Bay would be title contenders or bust.
Boy, Aaron Rodgers had T.J. Hawkinson. Oh my goodness,
That would be scary.
like that was one thing I was afraid of happening in the draft of them getting T.J. Hawkinson. I would have been terrified. I was like, oh my goodness. No.
Yeah, I mean that would have been a huge blow for a lot of things for me, and I know that in general that this whole idea for them to put shit in this way really had me feeling tight. I was really upset. Now, LXC says D.S.A equals the antidote to the poison known as the legacy fake news. Man, support that.
Hashtag facts.
I mean, but the biggest thing is they say we losing 36-10 to the Arizona Cardinals. What say you, Mike?
Their prediction is so stupid. It's hard to even want to comprehend how dumb it is. I think the reason that they're doing this is they hate the Lions, and they seen that the Lions actually made a lot of moves, and so let's demoralize the team by assuming they're going to go 0-10 and be the first pick in next year's draft because they hate Detroit, because they hate Lions. That's reasons. I hate Lions. Lions go 0-10. I look smart, blah, blah, blah. But they look so dumb. Just so dumb. They've not noticed the people we got. You get Trey Flowers. That's a scary defensive end. Oh, I'm going to turn around and get now Justin Coleman, who is a really good nickel corner. Hey, let's think about TJ Hawkinson. Let's think about Jesse James. Let's think about Mike Daniels. Let's think of Snacks Harrison. They're not. They hate the Lions so much they're not even looking at any facts at all, and they're going off feeling. They go feelings versus facts, and that's going to lead them to look like a complete and utter moron come Sunday night.
I mean, now, big take. Now, listen, 36-10. And I know you did a preview talking about this same thing with a video, so make sure if you haven't checked out the Big Takes video, it is up right now, as well as MicroMike's preview for it. Make sure you check it out. And I know that we had got some basketball news from Detroit Drew and from 313 J-Mo about the Lions working out Joe Johnson, so check that out if you're interested into the basketball. But Big Take, talk to me. 36-10. This is what they're saying week 1 against the Lions.
I don't even know what to say because honestly, I can't find anywhere in my brain where it makes sense. How are we going to lose to the Cardinals 36-10? What are the Cardinals going to do to us? Like what do they have? Their offensive line is garbage. Our strong suit is our defensive line. Their secondary is garbage. We have Matthew Stafford. So please riddle me how in the world we're going to lose 36-10. It doesn't make sense, man.
Sound pretty upset there.
Yeah.
I'm trying to hold myself back. We are live on the show.
Yeah, but
man, yeah, I understand. It's more.
Carl, 36-10. This is what they said. They said that the Lions are losing 36-10 to the Cardinals. What is your thoughts on that?
I mean, it doesn't make sense. And when I was looking at the article, I probably saw some things that you guys weren't like looking out for. Like I saw a lot of stupid things. They were giving the Cardinals too much respect. I saw when you scroll down, like they had the Cardinals dropping a lot of points on a lot of people.
Man, They had the Cardinals scoring more points than all our opponents that we play after. They had them scoring more points than the Chargers, than the Kansas City Chiefs, the Eagles, the Packers. This is the Cardinals.
Yeah. What I was saying was I saw like when you were scrolling down the weeks, I saw them having Cardinals drop 30s on a lot of people.
How are you going to score if you can't block?
That's what I was saying.
Right. 12th Man Pride. Shout out to 12th Man Pride. He's new to YouTube. He's just getting everything going. He says, can you guys make a prediction on all the teams in the division, including the Lions? That will be coming soon. Make no mistake about it. We'll make our predictions and we'll lock them in. So that way,
I got a prediction video out predicting all the NFC North divisional teams that you can go check out.
Yeah, I think he wants us all to just lock it all in. So we can do that. We can meet that standard. But for me, when I saw 36-10, the first thing I thought about is what do you? Madden won't even do this. It won't even do this. Madden, I literally went just because I was curious. And I literally just see him that first game. I mean, every game we won by double digits. Even Madden believes that we're going to win by double digits. Somehow, this simulator for ESPN says, nope, you're losing. And you're losing 36-10. I mean, 26 points is a lot of points to lose by, let alone to a team that's no way. So the first thing that jumped out to me when I saw that is I didn't even realize that they said we was 0-10. I saw 36-10 to the Cardinals. And the first thing I said was, if we lose 36-10 to the Cardinals, they need to fire Matt Patricia that moment. Like, don't let him get on the plane. He don't get no bike to go home. Go get him an Uber and pay a large fee.
No four-wheelers.
Yeah, something, man. Get on a unicycle and trek himself back home, because no way we should lose like that, man. Under no circumstance. So now it says Vegas liked the Lions for the season opener line jumped up to -3 just yesterday. Appreciate that, Andrew, because I know Andrew keep his ears to the ground when it comes to the betting part of it. But I'm just saying, let's just say hypothetically, though. Hypothetically, Drew, what if the Lions did lose 36-10 to the Cardinals? Hypothetically here, because we know that's not happening.
I just say it's a good thing my basketball videos are better than my football videos, so I can stick to that.
I'm with you there, Drew.
Dude, last year I was so frustrated with this. I was done by like week 4. Just everything that happened last year was frustrating. You can't tell me in good faith that this team's gotten worse, and not to mention that Kyler Murray hasn't thrown a touchdown pass yet. I just don't see how you're going to lose 36-10. It might be a better game than that. I don't see the Cardinals scoring 36 points. Could it be a close game? It very well could be. Kyler Murray could be sneaky good, but I don't see it happening. I don't. I never want to pencil in an easy win, but you got to put that in the conversation here.
I mean, forget the pencil. Put that in ink. That should be a blowout. I'm going to listen.
No, hey Luke, I was just about to say, no, I'm sorry, y'all, but I'm about to be very arrogant about this. No, we gonna destroy the Cardinals. Like, no, like right. This team is garbage. Like, we should crush them. And I've seen the Lions do it to the Cardinals. I've seen the Lions blow out the Cardinals before. What worst team? I don't want to hear nothing. And they were better back then. I don't want to hear this, bro. Kyler Murray ain't gonna
even last year.
J-Mo. Let's talk about it, J-Mo. If hypothetically, if for some reason they do lose 36-10, what is going to be your thoughts on that?
ESPN, NFL is rigged. ESPN has all the answers apparently. Because that's the only way I can picture that happening. To me, it's something that's just not going to happen. I ain't even thinking that way, man. There's no way we lose 36-10 to the Cardinals. And if we do, you fire Matt Patricia. Make Paul Pasqualoni the coordinator, and you go on from there. Make him the head coach.
Now Bill Collier, he says, I think the score will be 36-10. Just
exactly. I've been predicting 30, 35, 17,
maybe they made
35, 10.
Well, I'll tell you this much. Let me ask you this, Mike. If the Lions lose 36-10, what say you? How are you going to feel about this? I can tell you my thoughts on it. I'm like I said, he needs to be fired. I don't even think if they lose to the Cardinals, he don't get to week 9, as ESPN say, to get fired. He's fired immediately after that loss.
Absolutely. If we were to lose, by that margin, Patricia would have to go instantly, because that would be completely, with the talent we have on this roster, there's absolutely no excuse at all to get blown out that bad. Even if Stafford went down, you get more than that. That would be utterly ridiculous. He would have to go. They would have to drop a nuclear bomb on Matt Patricia and send him packing if that happens, because even Jim Baldwell would win games against the Arizona Cardinals, a team you should beat, over getting blown out by such a bad margin.
And it don't make sense. You know, it's 36-10. I mean, now they claim that he's going to get to 0-9 before we fire him. Now, let's be honest about this. Realistically, lock your prediction in right now. Realistically, how many games, if he goes 0 anything, do you think the Lions will let him go before firing him?
Ooh, I would say 0-6. If they did that, that would be a guaranteed. I think by then that they would fire him.
0-6. Okay, what say you, J-Mo?
Yeah, I'm exactly with 0-6, because you remember the last time Martha was like, "Yeah, I'm through with this."
Mm-hmm.
So, see, the thing with Martha Ford is she's gonna fire him before the season is completely over, so we can still have a chance with the new guy. Like, you do it game 6, it's still 10 more games left. You never know what can happen, because I remember 2015, we went on a 7-game winning streak, and we all know what happened with the cheating with Aaron Rodgers. So otherwise, we would have made the playoffs that year. So I know Martha. Once we get to game 6, she gone. He's definitely gone.
Now, according to Andrew, he says the over-under is at 6.5, and he says people are betting it over. So it makes more sense to me in theory that they will come out and push this agenda of, let's get people to bet the under, because people is going to want to get in on this and get that money. You know what I'm saying? Now, we lost Carl CA3 Sports to some technical difficulties. The minute he get that squared away, he'll be back with us. So go ahead and take care of that, Carl, and get back in here. So I'm just saying, to me, I think he gets 3 games. He go 0-3 and he's fired. I think just like that, they're not gonna I don't think they're gonna get that far in advance for him to do anything. And to me, it's one of the things where if he gets past 0-3, I'm telling you, they firing him. But what would you guess if it had to be you though, Big Take? How many games do you think if he's 0 whatever, he's fired?
I'm gonna go with you, Luke. I think 3 games. But I'm gonna tell you this: if we lose 36-10 to the Cardinals, forget about Matt Patricia, forget about all of that. You can cancel the Lions, man.
Right.
I'm done. I'm good on them if they lose to the Cardinals 36-10.
Hey man, I got some fellow Lions fans that are, after that Jets game last year, they don't watch the Lions no more. So I understand your sentiments.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's rough to see that, and I just and listen, everybody think my theory is something. Of course, it's Vegas. Nobody is that stupid. Everything is money induced. It gotta be.
Yeah, but the thing with, why would Vegas push us being a trash team when we're not gonna be trash though?
Because guess what? It's easy for the fan to believe that we're going to be trash. So guess what? Like if I can sit there and tell you this team is going to be trash, and you like, yeah, that's an easy bet. What you going to do? You going to go out and make that bet? Like if I were to tell you, I bet $100 that you can't dunk on my 3-year-old, you'd be like, take that bet. That's easy. Until you realize my 3-year-old might be like 6'7". You're like, well, wait, hold on. Where did this kid come from? It's different. It's different when you think it's an easy bet. And I think that they do this because they think it's an easy bet. And I think that's the scary part about it.
Yeah, but what's interesting about that is the last few years when we were having winning seasons, they wasn't giving us 6-win seasons. So it's very it's very weird, because I remember we was getting like 8 or 7.5 or something like that.
I guess you just got to think about it this way: whatever the media predicts us to be, we're going to be the opposite.
and also, I want to say it was Denver one year. They had Denver as slated as being like this really horrible team that year, and that team went to the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
Facts. That's us, bro.
They
You
just
already
want to
know
get people talking about their teams. They just want us to sit here and talk about how crazy their statements were, and so they can create up a media stir. It's what ESPN does.
Well, yeah, they disrespectful. It's all get out.
What's good, Devin?
It's all about them ratings.
They disrespectful, man. And I want to say it was two guys on the podcast show that came on and commented and said that one of the reasons ESPN is so disrespectful is because they don't have any stake in the Detroit market. Fox does. So what better way to go after the competition than to
down on them?
Yeah. So, but it's all those other things too that go into it, which brings me to the next question, fellas, which is that first game against the Arizona Cardinals. How do you see this game going? We'll start off with you, J-Mo. How do you see this game going in terms of us winning this game? What's going to be the key thing in your opinion that wins this game?
It's gonna be two players. That's Kerryon Johnson and TJ Hawkinson. I think both of them are gonna have a coming out party on this game. I think Galladay and Marvin Jones will be solid, but I think Kerryon's gonna be a problem on Sunday. He's gonna be a serious problem. They ain't gonna know what to do with him. Yep. And I think TJ Hawkinson is gonna be a problem because to me the thing that separates like good tight ends from great and elite tight ends is the ones that can get open. TJ Hawkinson's always open, and Matthew Stafford has never had a player that's always open like that to stretch the field or go underneath. And I think that's what's gonna happen. But my main part is not even the offense. The defense, the defensive line, the secondary, the entire defense, every level, I think is going to be great. I think the defense is going to be the dominant force in this game, and the offense is just going to be crushing them off of short fields and things of that nature and turnovers and just capitalizing in the red zone and running the football. A lot of that. Stafford might throw for like 200 yards in this game, and we might still score 35. So
I mean, now we had 75 people in the chat. I seen 40 likes. Let's get those likes up. Make sure we get this video pushed forward so it keep its circulation. Melvin.
Doo-doo on a stick.
Melvin Drew, man, you silly. But
yeah, like after this article, ESPN has no credibility, but then ESPN has another article from Michael Rothstein, and he got us going 10-6. This makes no sense.
I mean, it's just one of the things when you look at it. Now, let's talk about it though, Drew. I mean, what do you see is going to be the key to the Lions winning this game? Like that, you're going to be like, oh, this is going to be the deciding factor. This is what's going to be different.
It's got to be Matthew Stafford. Arizona doesn't have anyone that can cover anybody. They're all guys who've barely played anything, let alone in the NFL. They have very little experience. Matthew Stafford needs to throw the ball for almost 400 yards and a couple of touchdowns in order for us to win this game. Kerryon Johnson is going to be opened up because of it. I imagine a lot of draw plays, probably a lot of RPOs, not with Stafford, but I imagine Josh Jackson playing a little bit. I can see them doing the RPO with Josh. I think time fourth quarter is going to be over with. You can get Stafford out of there so he doesn't have to break his back, and you can see Josh Jackson in action.
Well, Josh Johnson, if he not throwing 400 yards in 3 quarters, that'd be crazy. But
have you seen who Arizona's got in the secondary right now?
I mean, yeah, but I think our team is going to try to establish an identity. So we're going to run the ball a lot, even though Stafford can kill him through the pass, and then Stafford's going to kill him through the pass or play action. I think they're trying to establish an identity, and Kerryon's going to get some carries. But I could see Stafford going for 400 and Kerryon still getting 100, though.
All right, so now we got Nomis J that just joined the show. What up, though, Nomis?
Hey, what's going on?
Look, man, I mean, clearly we've been talking about this setup and stuff like this, and this ridiculous ESPN article. But I'm gonna toss it to you, and then I'm gonna toss it to you, Mike. I'm just saying, man, what do you think is going to be the key needed for the Lions to win this game, Nomis?
Basically they just need to run the ball and keep their defense off the field and make a young quarterback make decisions that he's not ready to make yet. That's pretty much it. It's not. I mean, I'm not underestimating any opponent, but for the Lions to win, they have to stick to something they haven't done. That's run the ball.
Yep.
I mean, if you want to beat Arizona, run the ball. Man, think about 2014 when they had our old quarterback against us. Like, when they had Drew Stanton, for God's sake. We had a good defense, and we kept the game close all game, but we could not draw up a play to take the lead or even tie it up because we didn't have a run game, nothing. That's how you beat a lot of these teams. Run.
I mean, this is how I look at it. This is how I look at it. I just say to myself, the biggest key to this game is going to boil down to the run setting up the play action. I stand by that statement. I think that if we run the ball, establish run, like you said, it sets up everything else. It'll set up the play action. It'll set up the offense to move the ball in a way that creates balance. Now, on the defensive side of the ball, we just need to just basically shut Johnson down, which has been done. And we did that with less talent. So, if we can shut him down, that's where we want to be. But, Mike, what do you think is the key to the Lions winning this game?
There's two keys, in my opinion, what's going to take place. First off, the secondary of the Arizona Cardinals is really hurting. Patrick Peterson is suspended, and their number 2 corner is out due to injury. We have a lot of weapons on offense. Kenny Galladay, Marvin Jones Jr., Danny Amendola, TJ Hockenson, Jesse James, and of course, Kerryon Johnson. With the ability to run the ball, the play action is going to be sick, and people are going to be not just be open, but really open. And Matthew Stafford will have the ability to get that ball right in position to where there's no insane coverage on whoever he's targeting. They will have at least 1 yard free. That ball will be on time. So that's going to hurt them there. The second key is their offensive line is absolute garbage trash, and our defensive line is absolutely black and blue, punch you in the mouth, top 5 defensive line. That does not spell good for Arizona. You win through the trenches. Their trenches is trash. Our trenches is not. We're going to put a lot of pressure on Kerryon Johnson. He's going to make errant throws, and we've seen in the preseason how much turnovers we were getting with this new style of attack defense. This is going to be key, and this is why the Arizona Cardinals are going to get blown out like a hot dog thrown down a hallway.
Hey, Mike with the ether, man. I hope the Arizona fans don't hear this, man.
Mike, I wasn't ready. Mike, I wasn't ready, man. Now listen, we got a new one to the building. Eric Gross. He says, "What up, fellas?" He says, "I have a question." Hey, Eric Gross, put that question in there. I know you seem to be new because I don't remember your name, and I remember pretty much everyone's avatar and their names. So definitely put that question in there. And we also have a segment towards the end of the show where you can ask any question to any one of us and we'll answer it. Now this is crazy. Big Take, what is your view in terms of that key that's going to win that game for us against the Cardinals?
Obviously it's going to be stopping Johnson in their run attack, but our run defense is great, and I don't think we're going to have any problem with that. I want to see Kyler Murray in the ground all game. I want us to welcome him to the NFL very nicely, if you know what I mean. And on offense, man, I think Kenny Galladay is going to have a huge game. There's just no one that can cover him in Arizona's secondary. Now, I can see him having a couple of touchdowns and probably a lot of receiving yards because he's going to be catching some deep balls from Stafford.
Now, I think this question from Eric Gross is a very good question. He says, we know where we are strong at, but where will Arizona attack us at? Where is our weaknesses? Ooh, I like that. I'll go first. I'll go first on this one. For me, it's going to be in them having to expose our linebackers. They're going to have to come out and expose the linebackers using their tight ends and using screens and trying to find a way to match our linebackers up with their slot receivers. If they can do that, we in trouble. I'm not convinced that our linebacking core is that good in coverage right now. So if they could find a way to get us in that little bitty bubble, we in trouble. But something tells me Kyler Murray's already trying to play short ball. And if you know anything about that air raid offense, it's a whole lot of receivers running a bunch of complex routes.
Mm-hmm. Remember 2015 with the Chargers,
right? So it's one of them things where you looked at it and it's like you can't get mad at. But what say you though, Drew? I mean, where do you see the weakness for the Lions that the Cardinals can attack us at?
I'm gonna say the goal line situation defensively. I didn't like what I've seen throughout the preseason while we were in the goal line. We've struggled with that for a little bit now. I think if they can march the ball, which is going to be extremely hard for them to do, and they get to the goal line, I think we're going to have a tough time stopping them. I don't think they'll be able to run it in because you'll have Snacks and Daniels obviously up middle to stop that. But play action with Murray, RPO with Murray, him just running it away. I think Murray can cause some problems by getting out of the pocket and making those extra plays.
Okay. All right. Now, Trigger Easy says, "What up, though, Luke? You going to be live streaming before the game, during the game?" I do not stream at all during the game. I am like zoned into what's happening, and I'm looking at little things, so I can't. Like my live stream during the game will be boring. I'm watching the game like a student, so you wouldn't even enjoy it. Y'all be talking to me, and I'll be over in La La Land. I mean,
if I get the ability to watch the game, I will do a live stream play-by-play analysis like I've been doing in the preseason. So if I have the ability to watch that game, make sure everyone jumps on my channel, and I will get it, man. This is something I enjoy doing, and I will definitely do it if I can.
And there you go right there. Now we got 80 people in the chat and only 59 thumbs up. Let's get us to 100% so we can keep this thing in circulation and keep it pumping. Now, what say you though, J-Mo, on what's that thing that the Cardinals can attack us on? That's our weakness.
I'm gonna be old-fashioned pressure. If they send a lot of blitzes, who knows? Maybe Taylor Decker is still Taylor Decker. So I mean, you never know what's gonna happen with some of that. We got Glasgow at right guard. I know we've seen him there before, but not with this unit, so we don't know. Rick Wagner sometimes gives up sacks. So to me, it's just if they can find a way to cause a lot of pressure on the Lions and the offense, I think that will help them win the game. That's one thing that they can try. I don't know if they can do it though, but that's what they should try to do.
George Morgan dirty for this one. He says, "Oh, he remembered names. He just can't."
Man, don't judge, Luke. I get it.
You out cold, man. You out cold. Nomis, what do you see is the weakness that the Cardinals can use to attack the Lions?
I'm actually going right in between you and J-Mo. Like, as far as J-Mo, yeah, if they can find a way to bring pressure, that can be a hard time dealing with that, because that means we're going to have to probably change our offense a little bit, try to compensate, and it could potentially go off the playbook. But and I could be wrong about that, but then what I'm feeling from you is covering tight ends. If they got a tight end that they some reason can't seem to cover, they can actually blow us up. And it's not just about the linebacking core in general. If we can't find a way to cover tight ends, that can actually open up for another receiver that shouldn't kill us to kill us. That's kind of what I'm concerned with.
Okay, I mean, listen, I'm not even mad at that. I think that makes a very good point. And I see all these different questions coming in. Shout out to JT Sports NFL. He's in the building. He says, "Who's going to stop David Johnson when he lines up out wide? His All-Pro year in 2016, he had 80 catches for 80 receiving yards and 7 touchdowns, more than Le'Veon Bell in all categories." Well, here's my simple answer to that. Who was his quarterback in 2016? That's the first one. And who's his quarterback now? Next question. That's how I look at it. I mean,
okay. I was about to say, I can say Tavai. I can say Tracy Walker come down in the box and cover him.
And
Tracy
we
not to mention, did he get kind of shut out the next year though?
I mean, because people get hip to what was going on, and I think that's what you see. You see people who get hip to what was going on, and then all of a sudden they had it in. So this brings me to another question of let's just go ahead and lock in our expectations, people. And what I mean by locking in, that means we're going to put this on the record. It's locked in. You ain't gonna be able to go away from this. What is your realistic, not no fantasy stuff? If you tell me 16-0. And you truly believe it, you better be prepared to explain yourself, okay? Now, I'm just going to put it out there. Don't come in here saying nothing crazy, because I'm telling you, Luke going to stop you and be like, no, wait, explain yourself, okay? Let's start off with you, MicroMike. Give me your realistic prediction for the Lions record and your expectations.
My expectations for the Lions this year is to go 11-5 and win the NFC North for the first time in decades. That is my expectations. They have the talent on the roster to do so. They have the depth on the roster to do so. They have the defensive line that's going to put so much pressure on quarterbacks. We're going to get turnovers, and I do expect them to go 11-5. This is what I expect. I don't expect anything under that. I believe they can do 11-5. I believe they can beat the teams that should be beaten. I believe they can destroy teams that they should destroy. And I absolutely believe that they're the scariest team in the NFC North.
Well, okay, all right, and that's a good. Listen, that's a realistic prediction. Now J-Mo know what I meant by that 16-0. J-Mo.
Hey man, you already know we going 16-0, man. So you already know I got one team that I think we gonna lose to no matter what. So I can't have us going 16-0. I can have
okay. Well, talk to me now.
though.
Talk to
But,
me. Give me your record prediction and give me your realistic expectations.
My record prediction is 12-4. My realistic expectation is 10-6 and making the playoffs. I know a lot of people want to win the division. I definitely want to win the division, but if we just make the playoffs and win the game, I'll be satisfied with that. But I think this team, if this team is healthy, we're gonna be 12-4. I already got the 4 losses, so yeah.
Okay, I don't know if we lost them or what happened there.
Wait, what you mean?
Oh, there you go. You came back. Okay, your mic had cut out a little bit. Okay.
Oh,
all right.
Yeah.
So, I'm gonna go ahead and ask Nomis. Nomis, give me your realistic expectation and prediction.
Robo Luke.
Robo Luke, is that me?
Yeah, so you had the Robo thing going on.
No, there was no Robo Luke.
Huh? Yeah,
I heard it.
I don't know. I didn't hear it.
Me neither.
I don't know.
Robo.
Yeah, wait, can y'all hear me?
What you smoking, Gnome?
Oh yeah.
All right, so my
man.
record will be for the Lions to go by 11-5. No higher than 12-4, because the thing is, Lions are gonna beat. To me, I believe they'll beat the majority of the NFC teams.
Okay, and that's your expectation. That's realistic. Okay. Okay, so we lost Nomis. All right, Carl.
What up?
Carl.
Nah, man, I had to reset the route and everything, man.
All right, man. All right, so let's go to the big take real quick. Big take. Tell me, man, what's your realistic expectations for this season?
I think we can go 10-6. I got us getting one of those wild card spots.
Okay.
If we lose to the Cardinals, we're in big trouble, because after week 1, we play the Chargers. That's a game I think we can pull away with a W because it is our home opener. But after that, week 3, we got at Philly. Then we play the Chiefs right after that, week 4. And we follow that up with at Green Bay in week 5. And if I'm not that worried about Green Bay, but if we can't handle the Cardinals, we're not going to be able to handle Green Bay. So that's why that first game is going to be so key for us.
Okay. And Drew, your realistic season record and your expectations. Realistic. I'm glad that J-Mo didn't go the 16-0 route.
All right, now if we go 16-0, Luke, I want all apologies.
Hey, you're gonna get all the apologies and all other time. Listen, I'll be sending you all type of
Like,
stuff.
we're gonna be
bro.
the greatest team of all time, bro. Watch, we're gonna go from the worst team of all time to the greatest team of all time. Y'all gonna learn.
I don't know about all that, but I'm gonna be the bad guy and say we're gonna go 9-7.
Okay.
I don't know if that's really a bad guy because that's still good.
I mean, that's still good enough to get.
We'll make the wild card.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I think too.
All right. So you expect them to go 9-7.
Yes,
My expectations is 11-5, winning the division, and actually have the chance to host a playoff game. That's my expectations. I think that I think when we look at the division as a whole, we are matched up really well with our division. And that, to me, is going to come down to a host of other things. Green Bay has a new head coach. So good luck with that. Bears lost their defensive coordinator. Good luck with that. The only team that scares me is the Minnesota Vikings, who just added Dotson at wide receiver today. So I'm like, yo, that does bother me. But outside of that, I expect for us to be just fine and to get the job done, in terms of winning the division this year. Now, Carl, what do you see as a realistic expectation, record and expectation? Realistic, do not hit me with 19-0, because I'm going to ask you to explain yourself. Give me your realistic view.
I mean, my realistic view, man, I expect us to go about 10-6. I don't necessarily. I can see us going 11-5. I'm just not sure about that because I just think there's a lot of tough games on our schedule, man. I think we could lose some games, but I still think we'll be a wild card team at the worst, and I think there's a possibility we could win a division and host a playoff game.
Okay, all right. I ain't mad at that. I ain't mad at that. Now I know Nomis' system is back up, but Nomis, just hold tight. We're gonna get you back on, man. That brings me to my next question. Overall, man, did the Lions do enough to compete in this division? Like when you go through and you look at this division, you look at what all the teams did in the draft, what they did in the offseason, what they did for their practice squad, what they did for their 53-man roster. Did the Lions do enough to compete in this division? Drew, what say you?
Of course they've done enough to compete. Now it's about winning. This team has been competing in the NFC North for ever since we have Matthew Stafford. It's never like we've been out of the race. We just haven't been able to get over the hump yet. The real question should be, have we done enough to get over the hump yet? And that's yet to be seen.
Right. And that makes sense. That absolutely makes sense. And I totally get it. Okay. So the Big Take had to step away. I missed that. That's on me. That's my fault. My apologies. He had to step away. But I would have loved him to have the final word for his part. So I take the bullet on that one. Carl.
Yes.
I mean, did they do enough? Right now when you look, did they do enough for this division to compete, to be something in this division?
They definitely did enough to compete. With the accusations of getting some tight ends in here, man, because that tight position was our worst position last year. They also added to our defensive line, and then they drafted a stud linebacker and Jelani Tavai. So, I'm just I can tell that they're building something here, man. And that's what I want to see, and I just think I think we definitely did enough to compete in the division.
Now the Big Take came back. I know you got to run, man. So you got any final thoughts before you head out?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
All right.
That's inspiring.
All right. All right. So Mike, man, I mean, did they do enough to beat these teams in this division? Did we do enough to compete and beat these teams in the division?
Absolutely. Look at the talent that they brought in. We literally revolutionized this defensive line. We got Trey Flowers they brought in. We have Snacks Harrison now fully on the roster this year. We brought in Mike Daniels. Good grief. That defensive line is much stronger than it was last year. And guess what? Last year is fairly strong as well, specifically stopping the run. They're not going to be able to run on us, this defensive line. The secondary, they got rid of Nevin Lawson and added Coleman. That's such a huge upgrade because Nevin Lawson could never, ever get an interception. And
Never
people
lost
would just throw it his way. And then when you look what they did with the tight end position, our tight ends last year was flaming piles of trash. Now they made it into one of our strongest parts of our team with TJ Hawkinson, with Jesse James. Good grief, we definitely did enough to compete in this division and take the rest of the teams on. These quarterbacks, Trubisky, these quarterbacks, when it comes to Aaron Rodgers, when it comes to Kirk Cousins, they're not going to have the amount of time that they need to qualify to get the play downfield because this defensive line is going to give them such headaches that that's how you win because they will not be able to run and they're going to get sacked a lot.
Yeah, I mean, and I can see that. Now, I did get the Big Take back. Big Take, you here?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, I know I was having some technical difficulties. I know you got to head out, man. You give us some final thoughts on the Detroit Lions and what they should expect to see from this season and from your channel.
I'm really excited for week 1 against the Cardinals. You guys can expect the Lions to win big, man. We're going to have a great season, and I'm going to expect us to be a playoff team. As for my channel, I do have a Detroit Lions video dropping tomorrow morning for you guys, so you're going to want to make sure to go check that out. And make sure you guys go subscribe to my channel, man, and all these guys in the D.S.A. And thanks for coming out and having some fun with us tonight.
Hey, support you being there, man. Be safe out there tonight. Big take. And appreciate you coming by. His channel is linked in my description on this video. We got 86 people in the chat. I lost count of what do we got for the likes, people?
73.
73. We're trying to get back to
Let's get them likes up.
All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, now we'll go on to Nomis. Nomis, you good?
Yeah, I'm good.
All right, Nomis. I mean, did the Lions do enough this offseason, the moves that they made, the 53-man roster? Is it good enough to compete in this division and win it even possibly?
Am I single? Because, yeah, they have.
What, bro? No.
What in the world? Did he come in with, am I single? Man, what is happening?
But yeah, man, they are, though. Also, they are, because you have to look at it like this. When you compare, even from last year, the Lions, if we had a smart coordinator instead of a KFC piece of chicken calling plays for us, the Lions could have possibly made a push at least for a wild card spot. And even if they didn't, they were really an 8 team last year that just happened to lose a couple more games. And if you think about it, the upgrades that they made in a lot of key areas, it showed last year. So upgrade this team and add on top of what you already had. How could this team not be as good? Now, granted, because they're in the NFC North, they probably could lose a couple of games. But I think that combined with a couple of late games, we'll only lose a couple. We should take the division. We have enough to compete.
Well, all right. Now we got sports today, and I've never seen him in the chat. So welcome to the show, man. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button, and make sure you subscribe to all of us in D.S.A. Because there's a lot going on in D.S.A. So, but for me, you know, I look at this roster, and I look at this roster from each positional group on down, and I got to be honest, it's hard for me to see where we can't win this division. The only thing I think that can hamper us is scars. Y'all know I don't like to say the I word, but I think scars can hamper us from getting where we want to be. And to me, if we can find a way to just simply stay away from that part of the season, we're good. The scars, that is. I think this is a team that by far should do so much and get so much done. And the only thing that can happen them is scars and poor coaching. Now, Carl.
Yes.
Did this team do enough to really be a legitimate contender in this division?
They definitely did. I think I already answered this question.
Right, man. You lose, man. Come on, bro.
That's my dad. That's on me. That's on me. I'm reading comments and I'm doing things, man.
All right. Anyway.
All right. But anyway, so we're gonna move on to the next question. That's on me.
I didn't answer yet.
No. Okay. You're right. My bad, J-Mo.
You said Carl twice.
Listen. Y'all gotta understand, man. When you got a newborn and a toddler, sleep is few far in between. You survive the best way you can. Okay.
All my life I had to fight.
I had to fight
to get some sleep.
Yeah, I'm just trying to tell you the truth. But go ahead, man. My bad, J-Mo. Talk to the people.
No, so I was the only one who said we was going 12-4, but I think we don't. I mean, I'm not just thinking NFC North. We have enough to compete in the NFC. That's what I firmly believe. And the last time the Lions had a roster as good as this roster was 2014, and we were 11-5 that year, and we didn't really have a good running game, and we didn't have a tight end for either. So, and now we have both of those on top of a roster to combat with that. So, I definitely think we compete in the NFC North and compete in the NFC as a whole. We just gotta keep running the ball and hope we don't have some scars to some of those, pivotal players. I think the Lions gonna surprise a lot of people this year.
And I think that's fair. Which brings me to that question. It's just a simple yes or no. Is this the best team Matthew Stafford has had since he's been in Detroit? We start off with you, Drew. Is this the best team Matthew Stafford has had since he's been in Detroit?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
You crushed it, man.
All right.
Wow.
All right, Carl. Is this the best team that Matthew Stafford has had since being in Detroit?
Yes, I think this is his best all around roster. Because even his best well, not his best season personally, but his best the best season the team had when he was there in 2014. It was the roster was okay, but it was mostly dominated by the defense. The offense was nothing really that special in my opinion.
No, it
But
wasn't.
but to me but to me this is his most balanced roster he's had with offensive weapons and defensive weapons. So yeah,
Okay.
it's definitely his best team.
Now I'm seeing a lot of questions about where's TA. TA is on parent duty, so he has something going on with his kids. I think some type of sporting event or something like that. So that's where TA is at. But with all the love and respect, man, I'm pretty sure he's in here listening. So hey, make sure you subscribe to Noble Sports Entertainment. Mike, did Matthew Stafford, is this his best team since he's been on the Detroit Lions?
I'm gonna go on a limb and say yes. We've seen in years past where their offense has been great, but their defense was trash. Then we've seen where their defense was great and their offense was trash. Now we have a team, it looks like on all three phases are really good. And we actually have an offensive coordinator, a guy that's actually done it in the postseason and in a Super Bowl. We have never had an offensive coordinator that was actually legit good. And having a sustained run game in which Darrell Bevell is going to bring immediately helps out Matthew Stafford and that offense. If you can get that offense to roll with the defensive talent, man, this definitely looks like it could be the best team he's ever had.
Okay. J-Mo, best team Stafford ever had since he's been here?
I definitely think it is, but G-Bear, I said 8-0 to start the season, not 8-0 at home. But anyway, because I'm looking at it this way. At every important position on the football team, he has an elite player. And no team that Matthew Stafford ever has had an elite player at every position. Kicker, Matt Prater. Punt returner, Jamal Agnew. Running back, Kerryon Johnson. Receiver, Kenny Galladay. And then, tight end, TJ Hawkinson. Defensive end, Trey Flowers. Cornerback, Darius Slade. Safety, you can go with Quandre Diggs because he's a good safety. Nickel cornerback, Justin Coleman. Linebacker, even though he's hurt right now, Jared Davis. Jelani Javad. You got a center in Ragnow. So every point important position on a football team, he has an elite or close to elite player. And that's the way that I'm looking at it simply. And that's just the way I feel about it because I think this team is very, 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 very talented roster. It's just about the coaching. It's about the coaching. The coaching is the coaching, and that's what it's really gonna come down to with this team.
Drew is crazy. Did Drew tell these people in the chat, y'all, this ain't Tinder? Shaking.
I don't care. Single, married, whatever you are. I don't.
I'll go next.
This dude is crazy, man. Hey, Chris Martin, what up, though?
Hey, it's all dudes too. Just saying, I don't judge, but hey.
He said,
"Hey, man, Luke, the wrenches, man."
I mean, to me, this has to be his best team by virtue of he has a tight end and he should have a run game. That to me automatically makes it his best team. I can care less about what's on the defense. I can care less about the other parts. In terms of the offense and what he got to use now, to have two tight ends and to possibly have a run game that he can give it to three different running backs and still get production, it's got to be the best team he's had. So this is going to be where I'm going to be really critical of him and making sure that, he lives up to the hype in the bill.
Exactly.
I'll go next.
Yeah, I mean, it has to be that way. And if he doesn't come through, then guess what? By all means, let's give him the business. Now we have 75 thumbs up. We have 84 in the chat. Can we get those thumbs up if you have not thumbs it up already? And if you have already thumbs it up, put one up in the chat just for good measure so we can know you still with us. Now, this is one of the questions that.
Oh wait, I didn't get a chance to go.
Well, go ahead, Nomis. I was trying to line. I ain't need everybody down, but go ahead, Nomis. I thought you putting your bid in for the single life.
Well, I was gonna say yes, and to quote off the first black man on the net, the best team and more importantly, the best coaching staff. And when you understand this, when you look at the adjustments that our coaches, with the exception of KFC last year, did, it was actually very impressive to watch. And that's the most best part about it. Even if we start off a little bit slow, I feel like we do have a more reliable coaching staff this time around because based off the system that they actually chose to build with. And I feel like it'll connect later down once they get in their playoff time, all these playoff players that we go have on the team, that's going to kind of it's going to kind of connect together. And I believe this will honestly be the best, team that Stafford has played with.
Why you gotta keep
Based off those
disrespecting
moments.
KFC like that, man?
But wait a minute. Why does one Prime 40 say he's swiping left on you, Drew?
I mean, I don't have an answer. Have you
It's
seen
rough,
how good I look?
man. It's
But
rough.
I don't go that way anyway, so it's all
It's
right.
rough, man. Lord Jesus, y'all silly. Oh,
His mama swiped right on me, so that's all that matters.
y'all is silly. Listen, so one of the questions that that was brought up to my attention and that we kind of talked about was that Jared Davis dressed today and practice. He was limited in practice, but he practiced. Is this good news? And if it is good news, when do you think he'll be available to play? Let's start off with you, J-Mo. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know.
Oh, okay.
I was in the chat, man, talking to people in the chat. But I actually, so what I personally thought, and I reported on my channel about Jared Davis, he'll be back after the bye week. I actually think he'll be back week 3 now, because it is an ankle injury at the end of the day. And when you think about ankle injuries with basketball, they really need their ankles. But even basketball players can play through a tough ankle injury. So you're thinking about a football player like Jared Davis. He's going to be out for the limited amount of time. When he's like, when I can go, because, I know we had high expectations in the linebacker core, and as good as Jelani Javon might be in the future, Jared Davis is our best linebacker. He knows that, and I know he wants to get back on the field. But the fact that he's practicing with the team, even if it's light, I don't care if he's doing light workouts. You practicing with the team, and you had what would look like a bad injury. So I definitely think he'll be back by week 3 now.
Well, I hope you're right. I me personally, I think it is good news that he's back in practice at a limited capacity. But in terms of him coming back, I know we don't need him week 1. I can tell you that.
Of course. Oh no, I ain't worried about that.
I know we don't need him week 1.
Not.
We don't even need Frank Ragnow week 1. So I know that.
Yeah, but I want him to get that experience, though.
I feel you, but I know we don't need him week 1. I mean, even if ESPN wanted to slip us a roofie, you couldn't get me to pass out and believe that we losing 36-10 to the Cardinals. So I don't think we need them. But is this good news though, Drew? I mean, he limited practice, but he did dress. When do you think he's coming back, and do you think this is good news?
I think it's good news he gets dressed. I think it's good news he gets dressed every day because no one wants to see that guy naked. But yeah, this guy is naked, man.
Wow, Drew.
He asked a question and I answered it.
He did. True. He did answer the question. We got to be fair. He did answer it. Y'all crazy today.
It's good news though, man. Obviously, you want to see your best players out there. We expect so much from Davis to see him, take that next step in his career. And we had high expectations and we were happy to see him. He's really going to develop into that leader, or so we believe so. So we really want to see him come out there. The better he comes out there, the faster he comes out there. I just want him healthy. I don't want him coming back and re-aggravating that because I think Tavares can hold it down. I've loved what I've seen from Maben in the preseason. Devon Kennard, he's going to be there putting pressure on the quarterback. I don't need him to come back until he's 100% healthy.
Okay. I mean, I think that make good sense in my opinion. I mean, Carl, he dressed. Good news, bad news for you, and when do you think he should be back?
I mean, it's great news, man. At first I was scared when I heard he got taken off on a cart, but it's nice to see that he's able to practice. I don't care if it's limited. It's just nice to be able to it's just nice to be able to see him that he can practice, But my ideal week for him to be back is probably week 3 because I think I think week 3 will be our toughest game. Will be a very tough game. I think we need him back by then. And
okay, Mike. I mean, they say he put cleats on today. That's what they saying. This good news
man.
for you, bad news, or do you think
absolutely good news? Absolutely good news. When he went down, man, it looked bad. It looked really bad. Then we found out it was just a high ankle sprain. Now, when it comes to high ankle sprains, it's fairly easy when you're just walking or going forward, and people can feel fine through that. But when you start going side to side, cutting and stopping, going, that's when it can get re-aggravated. So I think, again, week 3 is actually a really good date for him to come back. It gives him a chance to heal up and to fully heal up. We don't want this thing to linger through the rest of the season. So we just need to wait for him till it's 100% healed. So going forward, after these couple of games, he can be utilized, and we don't have to worry about that thing get re-aggravated where he misses a game here and there, and it constantly throughout the whole season that occurs.
Okay. Now, for me, I personally think it's good news. Anytime you hear that any of your starters is getting back towards the return, it's always going to be good news. But I just don't feel like we need to rush this back. I do think that we can survive without him until, say, Kansas City. And if they do really well against, these first couple 3 games, you may be able to push it until Green Bay. So I'm definitely looking at it from that standpoint and feeling like, okay, I would love to see him back, but I don't want them to rush it back and he's not ready. You know what I mean?
It's about them. I think Jared Davis want to play.
So you think it's more so about Jared Davis want to play, and that goes back to my Stafford the broke back comment. You have to, what's the word I want to do? You have to be able to protect the player from themselves. And if you're not going to protect the player from themselves, then that's not good. You have to be able to do that. So for me, I definitely want to make sure that they're doing that with him. I don't want him out there. They let Stafford play with a broke back. I'm still mad about it, And the fact that you said him wanting to play makes me even more upset that that's what they did. So I just look at it and I say, forget all that. Let him take his time and get healthy, and we'll address it when we get back. That's how I see it. Now, I could be wrong about this, but I just feel like we better off there. Now we got we got 77 thumbs up. Let's get those likes up, people. We got 1 thumbs down, so we support that as well. Thank you. It lets us know we're doing something right.
I wasn't liking the video.
You know what I'm saying? So Nomis, what is your thoughts about it? Good news, bad news?
Well, it's like this. I think it's good news, obviously, but depending on how, I don't expect him back earlier. If anything, I actually expect him to really come back maybe after the bye week, because if the Lions, like you said a minute ago, if the Lions are performing well without him, they're not going to take a chance just because, we rough road game. They're all about preparation over there now with Matt Patricia involved in bringing over there anyway. So they're not going to rush anybody back before they're ready. And if he does play by game 4, it will be like real light minutes. But I really think if we're doing well, they'll probably just let him come back after the bye week for 100%. I think that's what we do.
Now, this comment by Michael Sands says, Quinn sleeping on waiver wires. Dude, Lacy number 4 is a joke. Jones or Kenny G go down hurting. That brings us to our next question, because believe it or not, that was one of our questions, which is who is still on this roster that you was upset is still on this roster?
Don't aggravate J-Mo like that.
That's why I started laughing. I'm trying to get it out without laughing, man. It's so hard because I know he about to go in. So let me work through it. Let me work through it. Who is still on this roster that you are upset on this roster and you like, yo, he should not be on this roster? J-Mo.
I mean, need I say more? I mean, y'all already know what it is, man. Look, y'all. All right, man. Yeah. Chris Lacy is trash. Like, let's just be 100 about it, man. And I've never seen him do anything in his 2 years here. I don't know why he's on the team. We got people in the chat that know what I'm talking about, because he's right. If Marvin Jones go down, we better go make a trade for a receiver, because I don't want Chris Lacy out there. I just really don't know why he made this team over Brandon Powell. We got Brandon Powell on the Atlanta practice squad, and we got Chris Lacey. Like, come on, man. I'd rather have Tom Kennedy. Like, what are y'all talking about? Yeah, it's Chris Lacey though. I
do see a lot of Chris Lacey's. I do see a lot of Wiggins. General G.
Oh, Wiggins is definitely a hot button topic for Mike.
Yeah. Now, but General G. Berry is correct. When I checked the Detroit Lions official website depth chart, they had Wiggins starting, not Joe Dow.
It's gonna be Joe Dow. Bob Quinn paid him. Bob Quinn. Wait. It's gonna be Joe Dow. Bob Quinn paid him a contract. Don't worry about it. The Lions is just playing mind games right now.
Yeah,
I don't know. I mean that.
Hey, Marcel Edwards, you know I had to turn up for that Chris Lacey.
Hey, look, right? You see, I'm like, I already know what he's gonna say. Mike, who's that player on the roster that you feel like, God, I hate that he made it. Like, why is he still on the team? Who's that guy for you?
Man, y'all know who I'm going for right here.
Oh snap! Here we go.
This is Wenny Kiggins. I can't stand this dude. This offensive lineman, man. How is he still here? How is Wenny Kiggins still here? This guy's not a good offensive lineman, man. He needs to go. He's trash, in my opinion. He is a detriment to the team. This guy, of all the people that there's been released, how is Wenny Kiggins still on there? How? What has he done? What has he done?
Listen, I just asked a question. I don't know.
Just like you said, this boy is 65 on Madden, bro.
Yeah, they did him dirty. They got that boy.
No, that was accurate. What you talking about?
I'm just saying, like they could have at least gave the man at least a 69 or something. You know,
nah, they 65. He accurate, bro. You gave up 4 sacks in 6 games, bro. Almost a sack a game, bro. You better get on.
Hey, Luke, that's how you say 69. Remember your video where he missed what you call? Don't say that.
Hey, don't get me started. Don't even get me started on that, bro. I'm trying to be.
They could have gave him 69. Go back to the Chicago Bears and play.
Don't get me started. That man got talked with one arm. I was like, bruh, what happened?
He missed him. What is that?
Now, Sean Damon said, "I was Wiggins starting. Bob Quinn must be smoking some good stuff." I don't think Bob Quinn gets to decide who starts and who sits. That is a head coach move. So that's head coach, offensive coordinators. So that's
and I'm telling you, Joe Dahl is starting. He was almost basically our best offensive lineman in the preseason. He started. Don't be worried about Wiggins.
I'm just telling you what they chart say right now. Just food for thought.
Man, if Wiggins starting, I'm not watching the game. How about that?
Drew, who's that player that you like? He made the roster, and you like, yo, how did this happen? Like, you just like, what?
I mean, I have to go with Eddie Lacy. I don't understand how he made the team, bro. Powell was my dude.
Wow, you say Eddie Lacy too? Wow.
See, I don't even know his name because he's a jabroni. You guys know who I'm talking about,
right? All right, I know what you're saying.
I'll stick to basketball. I'm just playing my phone real quick.
But no, go ahead, man. For you that you just don't got no respect for, and I get it.
Dude, I'm pretty sure I can be a better receiver, dude. He did nothing for me.
Yeah, I don't understand it. I really don't. But Carl, who's that guy that's on his team? Is it Lacy for you too?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
No, dude, I'm here.
Okay, all right. Carl, who's that guy that's on the team that you like? Yo, I can't believe he made this squad.
I mean, it's gotta be. I hate to steal people's players, but it's gotta be Lacy, man. It just makes no sense why you would pick him over a semi-accomplished, wide receiver in Brandon Powell. It makes no sense to me, man.
Wendy Williams.
No. Let me say something. All I know is I need somebody to find Chris Lacey, get him on the phone and let him listen to everything we saying. Because I don't think you good, sir. And I want you to hear my words. Lacey. And I need you to listen to these words and come ball out. Because I don't think you belong on the team, my G. I'm just saying.
For me, for me, the person that I'm mad is still on this team is Tavon Wilson. I felt like Andrew Adams. I feel like Andrew Adams did. I do. I feel like Andrew Adams did a phenomenal job as a safety, and I'm trying to figure. I'm like, he was around the ball, he was in plays, and somehow they just held on to this guy because he was a New England guy. And I'm like, if he was so good, how did he keep losing his job to slot corners? I don't understand how this keep happening. And then we just keep keeping them, and it's like, yo, when you look at the preseason games, man, I saw Adams getting down there. I don't remember seeing Wilson getting down there. And I know Wilson had a good game or two. I get that. But I just felt like it was time to move on from that. You made the man take a pay cut. Let's move on, and put in somebody like who had more interceptions between practice and preseason than Andrew Adams. And somehow he didn't make this team. It was
that don't make no sense at all.
It was mind-boggling to me. So that was a guy for me, and I was dead serious about it. But I knew that the Lacey's and Wiggins. Now wait, I see some new names coming. I seen Terrell Crosby come up, first black man on the net says Terrell Crosby is garbage. Sorry, fellas.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Hey, I'm not disagreeing with you. He don't look too good right now.
Sports Today is saying Crosby as well. And also, I just realized that Sports Today is a YouTuber. He's got about like 20 subscribers because I just became number 20. Make sure you go and subscribe and support him, man. It looks like he over there talking some good football, and I definitely like to support people doing good things. So
I'm just still mad that Texas tight end for throwing Andrews, whatever his name is, in the air like that, man. That's disrespectful.
Man, listen, I'm just John Martin said Abuchi. I could see that. I could definitely see that. Abuchi. Yeah, he said Abuchi.
This one, what's up with my man? What's up with the tight end we kept and then let go and then bring it? I thought he was a goner. I'm like, I ain't.
You talking about Logan Thomas? So what they did was they put Austin Bryant on IR with the destination to return, and so that made room for them to bring back Logan Thomas. What they did was they released Logan Thomas after they signed J.D. Masrick. And since you brought that up, that goes into
J.D. McKissick. J.D. McKissick.
My bad.
J.D. Masrick.
But listen, you heard. Listen, you heard what Jordan.
Nah, man. I mean, I just got to correct you, then. Like,
hey,
J.D. McKissick, man.
I mean, that brings us to the next question. On all seriousness, and we'll start off with you, Drew. What is your thoughts on that? The Lions bringing in J.D. Massett. How you say his name?
McKissick.
J.D. McKissick. Man, this dude was literally playing for Seattle, man.
Listen, and I never knew how to pronounce his name when he was there neither. I'm just gonna be honest with you. What you mean to lie? But what is your thoughts on that, Drew?
I'll try not to call him JD Martinez. How about that?
You know what I'm saying? Right? You see, it's hard out here in these streets.
I'm not going to get any for the names because I can't do it. Obviously, he's got a lot of potential and can be very good for this team, but I'm not sure how much we're going to see of him. I would much rather kept Zach Zinner, in my opinion. And no, I'm not just sticking up for my white people. But Zach Zinner was a guy who could go.
Oh no, Drew! You love Zach Zinner over here, man.
What do you mean, white people?
Right? What do you mean?
You can't say that, Mike. Only I can. No, honestly though, I don't care if it's Zach Zinner, if it's Barry Sanders, and anyone in between. I just want guys who are going to come here, do their job, fight for extra yards. If JD can do that, I'm glad we did it. But obviously Zach Zinner, was the guy who would fight for extra yards. He didn't make a whole lot of highlight plays, but every play was a positive play. And, we want that from Carrion and CJ. I'm not sure how much we're going to see of Ty Johnson, but, he is one of those guys that when he's out there, he's going to get you positive yards. And I kind of felt like Zach Zinner was a cherry on the cake where you would actually had 4 running backs out there any given moment that can go out there and get you positive yards at any time of the game.
Mm-hmm.
Now, General G Berry out here giving me all kind of work. He tell me I need, hey man, listen, it happens, man.
Man, I gotta talk about this J.D. McKissick, man, because J.D. McKissick is a very versatile player. When Atlanta, I think they drafted him or he was undrafted, I really don't know. But when Atlanta had him, he was a receiver. Then Seattle tried to turn him into a running back, and they really did. They used him horribly. I don't like that. So in this offense, I don't think he'll be a running back, but a slot receiver. And that's why I don't like the move, because You could have just kept Brandon Powell. Why you bringing J.D. McKissick over here to be a slot receiver? That makes no sense. You promote Tom Kennedy. I don't know what Powell did to them or something, because it's not like J.D. McKissick is like, he's not tall. I don't remember him being like some super tall guy.
He's only 5'10". I mean,
yeah, like he's the same height as Brandon Powell. So why are you choosing him over? It just don't make no sense. So this move is questionable, but I don't think he's gonna play much at all. I don't even know if he's gonna really make the team, honestly. So, but I know he's on the roster now, but I can see him going in a few weeks. But I don't know. I don't think he's gonna play that much.
Okay, Mike, what say you? I mean, what's your thoughts on this signing? I mean, you know that in order for them to bring him in, they released Logan Thomas and then placed Austin Bryant on IR because they knew that he wasn't gonna make it on practice squad. So what is your thoughts about this pickup with J.D. McKissick? Did I say that right? Is that better?
McKissick is not hard.
Hey, listen, don't ask me, man. It's just something I'm not good at. I'm sorry.
When it comes to the guy that they just signed here, I don't really think too much of it. This is kind of normal. We're going to expect a little rotation at the bottom of the roster. I don't really look too much into his ability that he's bringing to us because, look, probably a good chance he ends up leaving anyways. I mean, I don't know. I don't think it's going to be something long-term, in my opinion.
Now, apparently there's been some breaking news in terms of this big contract that has been doved out to Jared Goff. And it's big news.
How much was
it? I'm hearing it's like 110.
No, that was guaranteed money. It was 4 years, 134 million.
134. Wait.
4 years, 134.
No, scratch that. Go back to the guaranteed part. Would you say that was how much?
110.
So they basically just gave him 110 mil. Like, here, man. Look, man. The Rams are the dumbest organization ever. Jared Goff will never take you anywhere, and y'all just made a huge mistake.
Oh my God! Well, that Matthew Stafford contract looks better and better every day. I promise you. I promise you. What?
I guarantee you, Dak will get paid more than Matthew Stafford. Watch.
Oh my God!
Well,
but if Dak gets more than Jared Goff, who went to a Super Bowl, what do you pay Patrick Mahomes?
Well, no, he's getting 200 mil. They already said it.
They say he's supposed to be getting 243.
Yeah, he getting. You can book it. He getting that money. So,
man, that's crazy. Okay, all right. Well, that goes from that breaking news. Detroit's on Big Will's in the building. What up, though? Oh my God! It said, did you hear about the reports 90 million to Zeke? What is going on? Oh my God!
I don't know if that one's been finalized yet, though.
No, I'm happy for Zeke, man. He deserved that money. He's the best player on that team, bro.
I agree with that, but golly, but back to our alliance. I mean, that I just didn't see that coming at all. Okay, but yeah, I mean.
Oh, we got the Packers placed Jace Sternberger on IR.
Oh, so that means
Yeah,
have Mercedes Lewis and what's the dude? Jimmy Graham.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that. I mean, I'm not happy for him getting hurt, but that's good news for us because he's a solid tight end. I like him.
Yep.
Now, two guys on the podcast says if the Lions do not blitz consistently, they are not game planning correctly. See what the kid can do. Raiders destroy him with pressure. I agree with that. I think they did destroy him with pressure, and I think they did a very good job of showing how this works. But y'all might want to stay close to it. But in terms of the J.D. Masick signing, okay,
McKissick.
Okay, y'all listen. Don't kill me, man. Lord Jesus. Carl McKissick. Yeah. McKissick, you okay with the signing?
I mean, I'm like, I'm just, I like, I don't know. It's just a hard to. I just wish we kept Brandon Powell. Like I know we have him there playing slot because this when I looked at the depth chart. We had like there was nobody. They had nobody beside Danny Amendola's name to back him up. So we had it. So McKissick had to be the backup. Hey, I just wish we kept Brandon Powell. You know, it's better.
General
It
G-Berry,
makes sense.
General G-Berry helped me out. He said, just call him JD Luke. Okay, thank you.
Right, right. Call him
Thank you.
JD because
But
like you
but
gonna
but
have me.
but on the bright side though, Jay's a very versatile player. But and he's a speedster. But I just wish we kept Brandon Powell, man. That's all.
Now I believe
Yeah, I
Keelan
believe.
Dolph got signed already.
I think we got him because he was a Daryl Bevel guy, you know, because he played with them in Seattle and stuff. And I'm like, man, all right.
Well, I mean, and and Blue and Silver says Powell was never going to be anything more than a backup spot receiver and a kick returner and a punt returner. But nonetheless, you were right in terms of that backup part. And I do think he was cut due to his height. The Lions like tall receivers, and it's just a fact. It's a little bit more challenging to get the ball into the shorter guy. My opinion on the signing was, I said it before that the Lions have a whole lot more moves to be made, and they are not done. They got some trades coming. They got some more people who are going to be signed and then released coming. They got some more people who is going to not be on this roster that you think are going to be on this roster come like week 3. So you're just going to have those little simple moments. And in my opinion, the signing was perfect because he fits the mold of what they've been saying, which is versatility. Somebody who can be a receiver, be a running back, be a kick returner, be a punt returner. They wanted that versatility. So he essentially comes in and you can play so many things with him because he has the speed and the versatility that they look for. So everything King has joined the show. What up, though, King? Welcome to the show and coming in and checking us out.
What up, yo, King?
Let me see.
What's good, man?
We got going on here. How many likes we got there, people? I want to make sure we respect
87 likes.
87 likes. If you have not thumbed this video up, please make sure you do so. And excuse me, make sure you do so and make sure that you are giving this video the right circulation that it deserves. So here's the thing, because we talked about this JD, the running back JD. I don't need General G Berry getting at me today. Between
no,
him,
you need that phonics book for real.
Man, y'all better leave me alone, man.
Hey, I just got down to saying Mahai Luke for the Pistons, so don't get on Luke, bro.
Right, you feel me? This thing is not a game. It's hard out here in these streets.
I'm still working on the Sekou Doumbouya. I think I'm getting better at that.
I'm not even gonna attempt that. What you're not gonna do is embarrass me today with that one. What? What is his name?
Sekou Doumbouya, Dr. Doom, bro.
Yep. We're gonna leave it right there. Leave it right there. No. So obviously, Frank Ragnow injury is not said to be anything serious. It's not said to be anything that we should be panic about. But do you think the Lions should play him in week 1 versus the Arizona Cardinals? What say you, Mike?
Yeah, I do. I think the injury is not bad at all. I think he should be good to go week 1. Having him in there, having that essential offensive lineman on our team helps keeping Matthew Stafford upright. I don't think we need to have him on there. I think we would definitely win without him, but it's always a good thing to get your best offensive lineman playing, specifically center, so we can get Kerryon Johnson those holes to run down the middle.
Yeah, and I think that makes good sense because you definitely look at it and say you want to have your best out there. But personally, I think we don't need him, and I don't think we need for our linebacker JD to be out there. I don't think we need Davis out there.
Yeah, 2 guys in the podcast, we discussed Jared Davis earlier about 20 minutes ago, so you can just catch that later, man.
Back just a little bit, yeah. So, yeah, we discussed his that he practiced and if it's good news or not, and do we need him in week 1? I know we don't, but we gonna still say, hey.
I do think we really need him for week 4 though. They got too many fast weapons. We need him.
Hey, that's the thing you want, But I know with Frank Ragnow, I just don't feel like I see King said he practiced today with no restrictions, but I mean, if he's healthy, obviously let him play. But if he's got any bit of an ailment left, let him rest. We don't need him for that game. I think we'll be just fine without him in that game.
Well, I want Ragnow to play because I think he's gonna be healthy. And I remember when he got his injury, I had laser eye focus on everything that was going on, and I'm one of the only few. Some people caught it, but like if you watch Ragnow he was walking on his ankle after it got apparently all hurt. He started walking on it normally. They put him on the card as a little precaution or whatever.
Yeah, we hear you, Nomis. You're still a little bit robotic.
Yeah. But they put it on as oh yeah, you are robotic a little bit.
Yeah, he sounded like that dude off of Computer Love. You know how he was like Computer Love, that look.
Yeah. But I do think Ragnow is I do think he's completely healthy though. And that's why I think he's gonna start week 1. And I want him to get all the game reps at center as possible. And you know, a cupcake team like Arizona, I'm not underestimating them, but it's good. I would rather him go against this team than the first game be against the Chargers, you know, with their defensive line. So I would rather him go against this team, get some little continuity with everyone with the offense. And I think he's 100% healthy, so that's why I don't think that he should be sat down. I think he should play. And I don't like Graham Glasgow, man. Because then you're going to have Kenny Wiggins at right guard? Like, no. Not if he's healthy.
Folks, we got 80 people in the chat and 90 likes. If you have not hit that like, please do so.
Yes,
we
sir.
need to get to 100. We are 8 away.
Yes,
Let's
sir.
do it. Let's get that triple digit.
I believe in you like Whitney Houston did from that movie I love, Prince of Egypt. I need y'all to go ahead and crank it up a notch and put them likes in there if you have not done so. If you're new to the show, look in my description. Everyone that's on the show and then some are in my description. They are part of the D.S.A. Make sure you click.
He's back.
Yeah, I was trying to put Nomis in. He coming in and out. So Nomis, when you get that together, shoot me a message and let me know. But if you are new to the channel, never seen the show, love what we doing here, man, definitely subscribe. We do this every Tuesday and Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern. It does move from channel to channel, so you will have to be subscribed to all of us to know what channel is going to be on, because each one of us may have a different spin on it. Each one of us may host it a little bit different. I think MicroMike is by far the best host of us all. This dude comes up with the most amazing intros, and it's beyond hilarious. And then you just got to follow the suit. So make sure you hit that subscribe button for all of us. Now, let me switch gears a little bit, because usually we wait till now to take questions, but I just want to ask one last question. Okay.
I haven't answered the question, by the way, but
what I told you I wasn't really trying to hit everybody. I'm looking at the clock. I'm clock management here. I'm clock management. Go, Carl.
2-minute warning.
I mean, all right. I'm gonna go fast. I think we should give we should start right now. Just because I just don't trust the offensive line, man, and I just don't trust. I don't trust anybody, man. I think we need to start him, especially just like Jim said. I mean, we need to start him with a cupcake team. You know, see how his ankle is. You know, you don't want him going out there a little rusty against a good team like the Chargers or the Chiefs. So that's how I see it.
All right. Well, you know, I see these questions coming in. This is the part of the show where we'll open it up, where you ask any of us any question that you have, and we will address it. And I see right now the first question is for fantasy football. Now, Drew, this is more of your area. I try to stay away from fantasy at all costs, because ever since Brian Westbrook decided to take, you know, a dive and lay down through one, I just don't watch it like that. So, Drew, Richard Head says he wants to know. He says, should he start Big Ben or Stafford this week?
I mean, it's a toss-up, because, you know, Stafford's going to have a very good chance of having a big game. However, Pittsburgh is in New England, and that's either going to be a shootout, or it's going to be a boring, tough defensive game. If it's a shootout, you have to go Big Ben. That's probably one of the ones you probably have to flip a coin on. I might be leaning towards Big Ben. You know, he always has a couple touchdowns up in New England. But, I mean, the sky is the limit for Stafford. Obviously, Arizona's missing a lot of key players defensively. So Stafford has a better chance of having a big game. But, you know, Big Ben might be a little bit more consistent of a better opportunity for you, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I think you got Stafford versus Arizona secondary, and then you got Big Ben versus the Patriots elite secondary. So I would take Stafford just because he's going against a worse secondary. The Patriots got one of the best secondaries in that. NFL. So, and we all know Big Ben. It don't matter what the secondary is, but I think I would pick Stafford because I don't know how many big plays that Big Ben is going to have, and if they scoring touchdowns, it might be running the football on the goal line.
Okay, all right. Listen. I'm with you. I try to stay away from fantasy because fantasy always seems to get me depressed. I ain't even to play with y'all. Fantasy gets me real because I'm telling you, I've lost money before, and when I say I've lost money, and it's ruined football for me. So I just stay away from it and focus on the football. Because I could tell you that I was all hyped up when that game where Calvin Johnson went for like 329. I was crunk until I realized the other guy had Calvin Johnson, and I was like, wait a minute, hold on. So I stay away from the fantasy people. But what other questions we got in the chat, man? Let's see how we doing with this. Let me go on down here. It says, why is Killer Brew listed as a free safety? More head games from Patricia or preview of getting cut. So here's what they doing. The Detroit Lion has to put out a depth chart of any sort. The NFL has rules that says you have to put out something that the other team can look at and vice versa. So they tossed him out as a free safety, I believe, to hide him for what he's going to be used. But he's going to play free safety and he's going to play linebacker. But they wanted to keep it. Why am I struggling today? They wanted to keep it in a way where you don't know what's happening. So I think that's why you're seeing that he's at the safety spot versus being listed as a linebacker. So just food for thought. It says, how do you feel about the Lions working out 8-man? One is Tyree Jackson. Ooh, Mike, that's for you. That's for you, Mike.
Yeah, so this is something that the Lions are looking for. They've been looking to find a young quarterback to groom. They're going to keep doing this throughout the season, though, with quarterbacks and other players working out, probably to make the practice squad. And it's a good idea to always have another quarterback in the practice squad, someone individual that if we do get an injury, then they can throw them on the active roster if they're wanting to do 3 quarterbacks. So I'm very happy that they're working out quarterbacks, and hopefully they keep doing it throughout the season because, look, this quarterback position is very important. A backup of the backup's important. We need to get a guy that can somewhat understand what we're doing schematically just in case due to injury. So they're going to keep working out players throughout the season. I'm sure they're going to keep working out quarterbacks, and that's something that you want to see.
All right, Nomis, I'll toss this one to you. It says, it's from Abdullah Terrell. He says, was watching tape of Stafford. Why does he flip the ball before he throws it? Timing or liking a certain place of the ball? What's your thoughts on that and why he flips that ball? I mean, I know why he's doing it, but why do you think he's doing it? Okay.
I believe it is because he wants to like flip off the.
Nomis, you
I do feel like he wants to.
Sound real bad.
Hey, no, say Wally.
Oh my goodness.
You tell him to say Wally.
Yes, sir, I did.
So basically what he's doing is this. Whenever he flips the ball, it's because he's trying to get his hand set in the strings. That position helps him get the most velocity when he delivers the ball. So he's trying to get his hands nearest to the string. So when he throw it, he can get the right trajectory with it. That's what that is. It's just about ball placement. We got Marcel Edwards. He says, by the way, Luke, don't you think you're getting away with that Madden 69 rating remark? Of all numbers you come up with, you choose that one. You still owe us a woman analogy. Well, let me just give you your woman analogy. I feel like this. I feel like if the Detroit Lions, for any reason in this first game, are going to have a chance, they're going to have to open holes up like a $2 prostitute on a Sunday.
Speaking from personal experience,
I'm just saying.
know a lot about those, do you, Luke?
No, man, not at all. I mean, maybe once or twice, but that's nothing nor there. Okay, all right. But Scoopity Poop the Poop.
Hey, that's Kanye.
I made Kanye watching Calvin Johnson's top 50 plays earlier. Opened up old wounds. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I did. I saw that too, and I just thought, it was great, but his contract was ridiculous, and the best thing he did was retire on this. I mean, y'all don't realize that contract. We'd have been in cap like purgatory for a while with his contract, Stafford's contract, and given the fact that they had to still pay off, the money from some of the other people who didn't pan out. So it worked out in the end. Let me see. It says, but my real question is, will Ty Johnson go for 300 yards rushing and 300 yards receiving? Ooh, Carl, what say you?
I don't know about that. I'm just not sure how often Ty Johnson will get in the game. So I don't think he'll go for that much, just because I'm not sure about how often he'll get in the game.
Okay. I mean, and I agree with you. I feel like if the carries are being split between CJ and they're being split between Carryon, I don't think he gets too many touches. And if he's getting 300, he's going to have to be breaking some extremely long runs. So exactly. I don't know.
And we got to remember that Carryon is versatile. He can do everything Ty can do. He can catch out the backfield just as well or even better. So Tom's is not going to be able to get those receiving yards because Carryon's going to also be doing that.
Right. Let's see if before I go to this question, King Silly, R2D Nomis?
R2D2 Nomis.
Right. You feel me? Hey, Nomis, is your mic working?
Man, I don't know. Where's King? Hello? Can y'all hear me?
We can hear you, Nomis.
I'm having all kind of problems, man.
Dude, yeah, you have all kind of problems.
Hey, man, you need to stop sounding like Zap out there, man.
I see, man. This is crazy.
Hey, wait, hold on, Luke. MicroMike is about to leave, so would you like to give your final words for the day?
That's what I was finna do.
Hey, folks, I appreciate you guys coming in. I appreciate you guys coming in and bringing the love to the D.S.A. and to our chat, man. We absolutely love it. Truly appreciate you guys taking the time and coming up in here and enjoying Lions Talk. And it's so awesome. I also dropped a video today about the Detroit Lions versus the Cardinals and analysis, as well as breakdown and kind of guess and prediction of how the game's going to play out. So if you haven't seen it, please check it out. With that said, folks, adios.
All right, man. Be easy, Mike, man.
All right, man. You're well.
All right, ladies and gentlemen.
Whoa, I don't know what that was.
All right, so listen, I'm going to tell y'all what that is. That is little Luke watching Ryan's toy review. And when that thing come on YouTube, he turns into like the world's greatest fan. So that's what you heard. We apologize about that. But
I'm just gonna say you had a great plug there and you ruined it. You could have said he was watching the round table.
You're right. God, you know what?
You guys heard nothing. Go ahead, Luke. Say what you were going to say the first time.
This is why I can't have Drew on, because I can't get past 4 minutes without laughing. This dude crazy, man.
That's what I do.
So here's the question. It says, how often do you think they are going to use Ty in the Cardinals game? We'll start off with you, Drew. How often do you think they're going to use Ty in this game?
I mean, it depends on if it's going to be a blowout or not. If it's a blowout, he'll probably get some reps in. But if close game, you'll probably see more C.J. Anderson taking those second reps outside of Carryon, then you'll see Ty Johnson.
Everything King said, he just went Super Saiyan. He charged up. He charged up. Y'all crazy. He just went Super Saiyan. Yeah, I don't think I use him too much, but I'll toss this question to you, J Mo. What will shock you, this season? What's the one thing that will shock you this season? Like if electricity, Lord Jesus, what is going on, man?
What will shock me is if our like backup receivers are really good, because I'm not really expecting much from Travis Fulgham and that other guy. So we ain't saying names, man. We don't say names no more, because like if those backup receivers turn out to actually be very solid, it would greatly surprise me, because I'm not really expecting much from them. And I know they can add a piece, and One more other thing will surprise me if Justin Coleman has and I'm not saying he's not gonna have a good season, but I mean like a breakout,
Okay.
like a big year.
Okay. All right. We got what teams other than the Lions do you think is underrated and which teams are overrated? Well, I'll take that one. I'll take that way, and I'll pet that around. I think that's a good question we all can answer. For me, the teams that I think are underrated, just like the Lions, and I don't think people want to give them the respect because they're not getting a lot of media from what I can see. But I think one of the teams that you have to pay attention to as underrated, in my opinion, is going to be the Bills. I don't know. If I feel like the Bills is about to turn the corner. And when the Lions played them in week 3, I saw some things that I was like, yo, you saw the young talent actually stepping up and performing. And I think they're grossly underrated. In terms of being overrated, I think the Green Bay Packers is. I think the Dallas Cowboys are overrated. I mean, they keep on giving these teams all this hype, but they act like Dallas did something with their head coach. That guy been there the entire time with that same good talent, and they don't do nothing. Why we keep hyping them up? You go to the Green Bay Packers, here come another new head coach, completely out of the woodworks. Could be good, could not, but they didn't do enough to protect the quarterback. So to me, those two teams are the overrated teams. What say you, Carl?
I would say an underrated team on my book is the New York Jets.
Okay.
I say this because I just think with the addition of Le'Veon Bell, and I think their defense is really solid. And I think Sam Darnold will have an even better year than last year. And I think I think they'll have a really decent year. I think they're a little underrated. And then I think a very extremely overrated team is the Green Bay Packers, of course, because I just don't see just that roster, man. It just that roster is just not good, man. It doesn't serve the hype, man.
I understand that.
And with the new coach, it just makes it worse because
Matt LaFleur. That's how Stephen A. say his name, Matt LaFleur.
Like I don't understand how you expect, because Aaron Rodgers didn't get along with the coach of 8 years. I don't see how him and the first year coach are gonna work that easily. But that's just me.
Okay, and what say you, J-Mo? I mean, who do you think is the team that's underrated like the Lions but overrated? Just pukely, disgustingly overrated.
Yeah, our overrated is gonna be similar, but the underrated team is the Baltimore Ravens. I think people are considering last year as an aberration, but considering what Flacco was with that team and what happened with Lamar, and they're gonna have this new innovative offense, they still gonna be great on defense. You gave Lamar Jackson, Hollywood Brown, one of the best young receivers in college, and he still looks great. I think they're going to be good on both sides of the ball. And they're going to be the team on the schedule that you don't want to play because you know it's going to be very annoying.
They got Mark Ingram as well.
Right, they got Mark Ingram. I think the Ravens are going to be really good, and I think they are going to win that division. The overrated teams, definitely the Green Bay Packers. I mean, they overrating the Packers so much that I want to feel sorry for them because I know they're not going to be that good. But forget them. I hope people destroy y'all after y'all lose. And the other team is the team that's in the Ravens. The other team is the team that's in the division with the Ravens, the Cleveland Browns. I mean, these guys they look good on paper, but the schedule is tough. And I'm just not. I like Baker Mayfield. I told people he was going to be the best quarterback in that draft, but I'm not really sold on him being in the NFL and being able to chop up elite passing defense because he hasn't done it. The teams he beat last year weren't good teams. When he went up against good teams, he lost to Lamar Jackson and a couple other people. So I'm not really sold on what the Browns are going to do. They got a nice roster. They really do. But I don't know if they're going to be this 11, 12, 13 win Super Bowl contending team. Like, I can't see it at all.
Okay. I mean, yeah, that was longer than I expected, but okay. The next question, I'm gonna bounce off to the next one because we getting close to the time. It says, in week 1, should I start Barry Sanders versus the Houston Oilers or Emmitt Smith versus the Saints? Decisions. I'm taking Barry every single time, so that's an easy question. D. Williams said Detroit Drew is a low-key comedian. Not low-key at all. He is full-fledged comedian. Something wrong with him. He's
only person in the D.S.A. to have a stand-up comedy special. So check it out.
Definitely check it out. Definitely. Tyler says you talking about the peanut video because it's
Hey,
actually
Lou.
good. Okay.
It was a real good question about Rashawn Melvin because he did not practice today.
Oh, you know what? I knew I saw that, and I'm like, why did it go? Oh, me trying to get Nomis in. Nomis, is your mic working?
Let's see.
Okay, you sound good right there. All right. So the question was, if Rashawn Melvin is not good to go, is the secondary a weak spot for us versus the Cardinals? You know what? I'm gonna let Nomis start this one off. Let's hope this thing work right.
I'm actually saying no, it's not a weakness. Due to the fact of the matter, it's all about upgrades. Yeah, Rashawn Melvin is an upgrade at the CB2 last year. So is Coleman. You got versatility still in that secondary. I'm quite sure they know how to switch guys around. You know, if Coleman has to jump in and play at corner, you know what I'm saying? It's not like he's too short to do it. I mean, we had short people do it all the time, and I think he can manage. I think they have enough young talent overall to make it happen. I don't think it's going to it's going to hurt the lines. And anyway, if we're running the ball, I don't think they're going to get too many opportunities. If they run
Yeah, I wanted to say. I wanted to say.
I don't know what's going on with Nomis' mic today, man. I don't. But to me, I don't think it's a weak spot. Again, you got to keep in mind that yes, they got very good receivers, but our defensive line and the blitzes that's going to be coming from our linebackers should be touching Kyler Murray.
Yeah, but I don't have any confidence in our cornerback too because our cornerback twos haven't proven anything. And then you have Melvin, who's supposed to be the best guy, and he's not going to be there. And now you want to throw Justin Coleman on wide receivers? On the outside. And then Amadio Warrior is a rookie, so you're gonna have to throw him out in the fire. But I do think they'll switch in some Will Harris at cornerback.
It would be one would be Slade, two would be Coleman, and then three would probably be like Mike Ford. They're not going to Mario.
Oh, yeah, I forgot we have Mike Ford. Yeah, they'll use Mike Ford. They'll use Mike Ford.
Yeah, so they'll have some options there. So I don't think there would be some cases where, you're not going to see that. So to me, I think there's still some options. I'm not ready to sit there and say I'll be in panic mode though, if that's the case. Do you think the Cardinals spread offense will flush to the Lions? It better not. I put it that way. It better not. I mean, and I'm pretty sure everybody else on this panel can agree to that. It better not. And it
probably will.
I don't know. I think, like I said earlier, I think we're gonna blow them out in this game. But I do think the early parts of the first quarter it might be a little adjustment period. They might score an early first quarter touchdown. I definitely think that's possible.
Now,
just let JMO take care of that one. Don't even say a word.
Listen, he right though. Think about this. They ain't done nothing, and they be acting like they the next thing since sliced bread, like they reinvented the wheel or something. Just come on.
I mean, honestly, I don't know most overrated school sports history. Come on.
You see that?
It's a lot of other overrated. It's a lot of other overrated schools. Like Ohio State. We ain't gonna get into that stuff.
I'm just saying, man. If Melvin struggles,
Michigan State ain't done nothing either. So
if Melvin struggles, would you play Amani? You have to.
I'll play Mike Ford before Amani though.
No, but I'm saying if Mike Ford is in the game, then you probably gonna have to move people up. It is what it is. Blue and Silver says Jacksonville is underrated this year.
I wouldn't say that.
I agree with that. I think they're very underrated.
I wouldn't call them underrated though. I think they're getting decent media attention.
No, they don't. People don't talk about the Jaguars like that.
My problem with the Jaguars is they running back is not supposed to be playing early on, so that's huge. He's suspended. Last time I checked,
but I'm gonna tell you that defense gonna be great because Josh Allen is my goodness. So he's gonna have an impact on that team. So I think they're gonna be at a lot of football games.
I don't know if I can go with that, but I can tell you this much, man.
Oh no, we're gonna watch that during the season. Trust me, Josh Allen's the beast.
Well, I know we're gonna watch it, but I think his demand is gonna be very high. So I think that can cause a little bit of a problem for him. But if you have not hit that like button, please do. We are coming up on that 2-hour mark, so we're gonna start giving final words out. Let's start off with you, CA3 Sports, aka Carl. Final thoughts and final words, man.
Thank you guys for tuning in to the roundtable. I appreciate all the support you guys have gave me and the D.S.A. and you guys should also support the DV and the Outsiders, and you guys should tune in as well to the Thursday roundtable. And I'm ready for some football, man.
All right, I hear that. All right, and then Nomis, I hope your mic is working for the last few minutes. Nomis, you with us?
I hope so.
All right, man. Final thoughts.
Final thoughts. Thank you for allowing me to show up on the show for the first time today, and the second and third and 10th. Yes. And stay tuned. I do have a video I'm gonna try to drop out hopefully tonight. If not, it'll have to come out tomorrow. So stay tuned with me, guys. Thank you, and blessings to everybody in the chat, including the fellows on this chat with me, including Big Take and Detroit 9701, along with Noble Sports who couldn't make it tonight. And thank you, everybody. And this is going to be, to me, a start coming.
All right, got to the end and he broke up. I knew that was gonna happen. I don't know how, but I knew that was gonna happen. I'm gonna answer this question really quick. One Pride 40, just stay tuned to when this stream is over. I'm gonna drop a video and you're gonna understand why the air raid offense is a joke. And mostly it's because it's based around the idea of time. Meaning the quarterback has time to deliver these balls to these complex and a series of different routes, and it's supposed to be quick and precise. But if you're throwing it into pockets and stuff, wait till you see my video that explains why this is a joke of an offense. Now, final thoughts for you, Drew. Let's talk about it.
I'm just gonna say that Gnome kept making fun of KFC, and the Colonel put a curse on his mic. So all is right in the world now. Put some respect on KFC.
Put some respect on his name.
It was just a fun show in general. Thanks for having me on. You guys are doing a great job with the show. I couldn't be prouder. Just keep it up. Keep grinding. This is going to hit 100 likes as soon as it goes off air. So great job, fellas. Proud of you. Can't wait for football to start.
Man, absolutely. Absolutely. And, last but certainly not least, J-Mo, final thoughts.
What up, y'all? How's it going? One thing, and I might start saying this at the end of every show. Chris Lacey, come on, man. Also, I did drop a video on the Wolverines and if the Pistons should get Joe Johnson, but with the Lions in football, y'all know Darryl Bevel and Paul Pasqualoni popped up, so you know how I do. I break down what goes down, when they talk to the media and stuff. So that video is definitely coming soon. And what I will say, we won't lose to the Cardinals 36-10. We will beat the Cardinals by at least a couple touchdowns. And I gotta say this, and I really gotta reiterate this to all my Lions fans. Bob Quinn is not done with this roster. I'm telling you right now, it's gonna be a lot of upgrades throughout the season and early on, and ways to bolster the roster and make us even stronger. I know we're not done with this roster, and I'm very excited about it. See y'all on Thursday. All right, man.
Hey, for sure.
One Pride or don't ride, like G Berry said.
Hey, always, man, always. Hey, I just want to say thank y'all for rocking with us, man. We definitely got up to 94 thumbs up. If you have not hit that thumbs up button, please do so. And if you have not told a friend to tell a friend, I'm sorry, we at 98. My apologies. We're 2 away from 100. So if you have not told a friend to tell a friend about the D.S.A. and the things that we're doing, you're not a good friend. You gotta make sure you let them know that there are great things happening here. But with that being said, if you go in the link, just any of the links down there in the description, you can see everybody on this panel and then some. Make sure you subscribe to all those people in D.S.A. Because they do great work in covering Detroit sports and keeping it unbiased. TA was not with us today, so I wanted to let you know. Shout out to TA, Positively Detroit. Thank you, Big Take, for coming on and rocking with us for a moment. Thank you, MicroMike, for coming on and rocking with us for a moment. Thanks, J-Mo, for rocking with us. Thank you, Detroit Drew, for coming in and messing up my whole entire moment. I can't stop laughing at you, man. You funny.
It's just part of my charm. You'll get used to it.
Hey, you feel me? And appreciate you, Carl, for coming on. Ladies and gentlemen, Thursday's show will be announced. It may be earlier because it may be a preview, but that's the first day of football, so there's going to be some things going on. Also, stay tuned to my channel. I have some really big news coming within the next couple of hours, so stay tuned. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. And as always, ladies and gentlemen, don't be no chump. Please subscribe to the Detroit Sports Alliance. We're the #1 source for your Detroit sports talk.
#facts.